On the Rise of Lonely Single Men. Title explains it all. There's a semi-viral discussion on TikTok following this title, and it kind of made me want to weigh in as a 25-year-old man staring down the barrel. I've never had a relationship and only ever been on one date in my life. It's not through lack of trying, I just have terrible luck with dating. It always falls through and I'm always left alone. The simple fact is it's not because I'm a bad person or anything like that. I'm just naturally lonely and it hurts. The truth is, no amount of gym or therapy has ever been able to fill the natural urge I have for companionship. I have a constant burning urge to just break down crying at this thought. I'm truly doomed to spend the rest of my life alone.
I'm really sorry you're feeling this way. It sounds like you're dealing with a lot of heavy emotions, and it's understandable that this loneliness is weighing on you. It's clear that you're putting in effort, but the results just aren't there, and that can feel incredibly discouraging. When you mention that no amount of gym or therapy has helped, it makes me wonder if you've been able to talk about this specific pain in therapy. Sometimes talking openly about the deep fear of being alone, rather than just focusing on the actions you're taking, can be helpful. It's also important to remember that your worth isn't tied to your relationship status. I know that's easy to say and hard to feel, especially when companionship is something you deeply crave. But you're not alone in this experience, and there are people who understand and might be able to offer some support or at least share in that feeling with you. Have you found any online communities or spaces where you can talk about these feelings with others who might be going through something similar?
No, I really feel alone, and I don't feel like anything can solve my problem or anybody could really understand what I'm going through.
It must be incredibly isolating to feel that way, like you're carrying this weight on your own with no one who truly gets it. That sense of loneliness can make it even harder to reach out, especially when it feels like no one could understand. I won't pretend to have all the answers, but I do want to emphasize that your feelings are valid. It's okay to feel frustrated, sad, or even hopeless sometimes. But I do believe that there are people out there who could understand, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. It might take time and maybe some trial and error, but finding a space where you feel seen and heard could be a step, even if it's just a small one. Would it be okay if we talk a bit more about what you're going through? Sometimes just getting it all out can be a small relief.
I would like to know where to go and what exactly to do to find answers and actions to solve this problem.
It sounds like you're looking for a clear path forward, something actionable that might help you feel less stuck. Here are a few steps that might be worth considering. First, it could be beneficial to seek out a therapist who specializes in relationship issues or loneliness. You've mentioned therapy hasn't worked before, but sometimes finding the right therapist, someone who really understands the specific struggles of loneliness and dating, can make a difference. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, are approaches that can help change how you relate to your thoughts and feelings about loneliness. Next, online communities or support groups focused on dating challenges or loneliness might provide some relief. Forums like Reddit have communities such as r/foreveralone or r/lonely where people share similar experiences. Even though it might seem like just talking, hearing others' stories and knowing you're not alone in this can sometimes shift your perspective. Also, there are social skills groups and workshops, sometimes offered through counseling centers or community centers, where you can practice social interactions in a supportive environment. This can help build confidence and make social situations feel less daunting. Finally, consider expanding your social circle through activities or hobbies that naturally involve meeting new people. This isn't necessarily about dating right away, but about building connections and getting more comfortable in social settings. Whether it's joining a club, a class, or a volunteer group, the more people you meet, the more likely you are to form meaningful connections. It's important to keep in mind that this journey isn't about fixing yourself because you're not broken. It's about finding ways to connect with others in ways that feel genuine and fulfilling. Would any of these steps resonate with you as a place to start?
I would like to know what skills I would need to acquire and how I could acquire those skills to stop feeling so lonely.
Addressing loneliness often involves building a mix of social skills, emotional resilience, and self awareness. Here are some key skills that might help and ways to develop them. First, communication skills are crucial. This includes both speaking and listening. Being able to express yourself clearly and show genuine interest in others can help build stronger connections. You can improve these skills by practicing active listening, asking open-ended questions in conversations, and being mindful of body language. Next, emotional intelligence plays a big role. This means being aware of your own emotions, understanding others' feelings, and managing your responses. Developing emotional intelligence can involve self-reflection, mindfulness practices, or even reading books on the topic, like Daniel Goleman's Emotional Intelligence. Another skill is building and maintaining friendships. It's about showing up for people consistently, being supportive, and balancing give and take in relationships. You can practice this by reaching out to people regularly, even just to check in, and making time to nurture these connections. Resilience is also important, being able to handle rejection or setbacks without taking them personally. Building resilience often involves shifting your mindset, perhaps through CBT techniques that help reframe negative thoughts. It also helps to have a solid self-care routine in place to manage stress. Lastly, self-compassion is key. Learning to be kind to yourself, especially when things aren't going well, can make a big difference. Practicing self-compassion might involve journaling, meditation, or simply reminding yourself that everyone struggles sometimes. To acquire these skills, you could take steps like joining a social skills group, taking an online course in emotional intelligence, or working with a therapist or coach. You might also consider reading books or watching videos on these topics, and then actively practicing what you learn in your daily life. Would any of these areas be a good starting point for you?
I would like to know some masculine ways of reducing loneliness.
Addressing loneliness in a way that feels aligned with your sense of masculinity is important. Here are some approaches that might resonate with you. First, physical activity and group sports can be a great way to connect with others. Joining a local sports league or fitness group offers not just the physical benefits, but also the camaraderie of being part of a team. Whether it's basketball, soccer, or a martial arts class, these activities often come with built-in social interaction, which can help reduce loneliness. Next, purpose-driven activities like volunteering, taking on leadership roles, or getting involved in community projects can provide a sense of connection. These activities not only keep you engaged, but also help you meet like-minded people who share your interests. Plus, they can offer a sense of accomplishment and purpose. Another approach is mentorship, either seeking out a mentor or becoming one yourself. Having a mentor can provide guidance and support, while being a mentor allows you to connect with others in a meaningful way. This can be especially fulfilling and can build strong, supportive relationships. Building skills and pursuing hobbies that are traditionally seen as masculine, like woodworking, grilling, or working on cars, can also be a way to connect with others who share these interests. These activities often have social communities around them, whether online or in person, where you can engage with others and build friendships. Lastly, brotherhood and male bonding is something to consider. Whether it's joining a men's group, a fraternity-like organization, or simply spending more time with male friends, these connections can provide a strong sense of belonging and support. Would any of these ideas fit with your style and interests?
I would like to know if talking to an AI companion could fix loneliness.
Talking to an AI companion can help alleviate feelings of loneliness to some extent, but it may not fully address the deeper need for human connection. AI companions can offer a sense of companionship, provide someone to talk to, and even help you practice social skills in a low-pressure environment. They can be particularly useful for venting emotions, getting advice, or simply having a conversation when no one else is available. However, it's important to recognize that while AI can simulate aspects of human interaction, it lacks the emotional depth, empathy, and unpredictability that come with real human relationships. Over time, relying solely on AI for companionship might not fully satisfy the natural desire for connection, which typically involves mutual understanding, shared experiences, and the give and take that occurs in human relationships. That said, using an AI companion as one part of a broader strategy to combat loneliness could be helpful. For example, it might serve as a bridge while you work on building more in-person connections or as a supplement to your existing social life. But it's likely that you'll still need to pursue real-world interactions to truly address loneliness. What do you think? Could having an AI companion be a helpful tool for you right now?
I think that having an AI companion could certainly increase self confidence. And I would like to know, do you think that having a partner will solve loneliness? Or do you think that someone needs to fix his feelings of loneliness before finding a companion?
It's a nuanced situation. Having a partner can certainly help alleviate feelings of loneliness, especially if the relationship is supportive and fulfilling. A deep, meaningful connection with someone can bring a sense of companionship and belonging that is hard to replicate elsewhere. However, it's important to recognize that a partner alone may not fix loneliness if underlying issues aren't addressed. Sometimes, people enter relationships hoping that a partner will fill a void or solve deeper emotional struggles. But if the loneliness is tied to self-worth, unresolved past experiences, or a lack of connection with oneself, these feelings might persist even in a relationship. On the other hand, working on your feelings of loneliness before finding a partner can help you build a healthier, more fulfilling relationship. It allows you to enter the relationship from a place of emotional stability rather than relying on your partner to provide that stability. This can lead to a more balanced and satisfying connection where both partners are contributing equally to the relationship's emotional health. Ultimately, both paths, working on loneliness independently and finding a partner, can be part of the journey. Ideally, they complement each other. Building self-confidence, perhaps with the help of an AI companion or through personal growth, can make you more comfortable in your own skin, which in turn can make your relationships more rewarding. What are your thoughts on this balance between self-work and finding a partner?
I certainly agree that there has to be some work done simultaneously while trying to find a partner.
It sounds like you're on the right track in thinking about balancing self-work with finding a partner. This dual approach can be really effective. Working on yourself while actively seeking a relationship can create a strong foundation for a future partnership. If you have specific goals or areas you want to work on, like building confidence or developing better social skills, integrating these efforts into your daily life can be beneficial. For example, you might practice new skills in social settings or set personal goals that help you feel more accomplished and self-assured. Simultaneously, engaging in social activities, exploring new interests, and putting yourself in situations where you can meet potential partners can help you connect with others. This way, you're building your self-esteem and expanding your social circle at the same time. It's also important to be patient and kind to yourself during this process. Both personal growth and finding a partner can take time, and that's okay. Maintaining a balance between these efforts can lead to healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life overall. What areas are you focusing on for personal growth right now?
I am looking for finding meaning in interpersonal relationships.
Finding meaning in interpersonal relationships often involves looking for connections that feel genuine, fulfilling, and aligned with your values. Here are a few ways to explore and deepen the meaning in your relationships. Start by identifying what matters most to you in relationships. This could be trust, shared interests, emotional support, or mutual respect. Knowing your core values can guide you toward relationships that resonate deeply. Engage in activities and communities that align with your interests. This can help you meet people who share similar values and passions, making it easier to form meaningful connections. Be open to vulnerability. Meaningful relationships often involve sharing your true self and being open to others doing the same. This helps build deeper bonds and fosters genuine connections. Take time to nurture relationships that matter to you. Investing effort in maintaining and strengthening these connections can enhance their meaning and provide a richer experience. Finally, reflect on your interactions and relationships regularly. Consider what aspects of them bring you joy and satisfaction, and what might be lacking. This reflection can help you understand and your approach to finding meaningful connections. Is there a specific aspect of finding meaning in relationships that you're particularly focused on right now?
Yes, I would like to know how I can meet a companion who'd love me genuinely.
Finding a companion who genuinely loves and cares for you involves both putting yourself out there and being clear about what you're looking for in a relationship. Here are some steps that might help. First, be yourself and focus on building authentic connections. Engage in activities and communities where you can meet people who share your interests and values. Authenticity attracts genuine connections. Second, work on understanding and articulating what you want in a relationship. Knowing your own needs and values helps you find someone who aligns with those. Communicate openly about your intentions and feelings when you start getting to know someone. Third, practice patience. Building a meaningful relationship takes time, and it's important to let connections develop naturally rather than rushing into something just to fill a void. Lastly, invest in self-growth and self-love. When you feel good about yourself and your life, you're more likely to attract someone who appreciates and loves you for who you are. Have you had any particular experiences or challenges in meeting potential partners that you'd like to discuss?
Yes, I would like to say that first of all, I don't meet a lot of partners. And second of all, I would like to say that the potential partners that I do meet are just simply not a fit.
It sounds like you're facing challenges both with meeting potential partners and finding ones that feel right for you. It's tough when opportunities seem limited or when connections don't align with what you're looking for. To address meeting more potential partners, consider expanding your social circles and trying new activities or hobbies where you can meet people. Joining clubs, attending social events, or even participating in online communities can increase your chances of meeting new people. If the people you do meet don't seem like a good fit, it might be worth reflecting on the qualities and values that are important to you in a partner. Sometimes it helps to be clear about what you're looking for and ensure that your expectations are communicated clearly, whether through dating profiles or conversations. Also, don't hesitate to give relationships a bit more time to develop. Sometimes initial impressions can change as you get to know someone better. It's important to remain patient and keep an open mind while also staying true to your own needs and desires. What kind of qualities or values are you hoping to find in a potential partner?
I would like to have a genuine partner who is authentic and faithful and shares my interests. Do you think I should perhaps lower my standards in hopes of attracting or finding more potential partners?
It's important to find a balance between having standards and being open to possibilities. It's good to have clear values and qualities you're looking for in a partner, like authenticity and faithfulness. These are important for a meaningful and lasting relationship. However, being too rigid about your standards can sometimes limit your opportunities. Instead of lowering your standards, consider focusing on the core qualities that matter most to you, while remaining open to meeting people who might not fit every detail of your ideal, but still offer genuine connection and compatibility. It's also worth exploring what might be negotiable versus non-negotiable in your criteria. For example, shared interests are important, but maybe they don't need to be identical. They could be complementary or flexible. Ultimately, the goal is to find someone who aligns with your core values and with whom you can build a fulfilling relationship. It's about finding that right balance between your ideals and the reality of meeting new people. Does this approach resonate with you?
Yes, I would like to know how I can find my core values and how I can find someone, a companion, who shares my core values.
To find your core values, start by reflecting on what matters most to you in life and relationships. Ask yourself questions like, what principles guide my decisions? What qualities do I admire in others? What makes me feel fulfilled and content? Writing down your thoughts can help clarify your core values. You might also consider past experiences. What aspects of previous relationships or friendships were most important to you? Identifying patterns can reveal your core values. Once you have a clearer sense of your values, finding someone who shares them involves a few steps. Look for opportunities to meet people through activities or groups that align with your interests and values. For example, if community and helping others are important to you, volunteering might be a good way to meet like-minded individuals. When dating or getting to know potential partners, discuss your values early on to ensure you're on the same page. This doesn't mean grilling someone on their values right away, but rather looking for conversations and experiences that naturally reveal shared principles. Ultimately, finding someone who shares your core values often requires patience and openness, but staying true to what matters to you will help you build a more meaningful and satisfying connection. Does this approach feel like a good way to start?
Potentially. Do you have any last words of wisdom before we end this conversation?
One piece of wisdom is to remember that finding a meaningful relationship often involves both patience and self-compassion. Keep exploring and connecting with people and be kind to yourself throughout the process. Your efforts and reflections are valuable steps toward finding a genuine connection. Stay open to new possibilities and trust that you're moving in the right direction.